Hello YouTube, welcome to this fine day, and today we are going to have a look at Kroxa and Kunoros in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by really two methods. Mainly you have this Murderous Midrange value plan to just grind the opponent down with card quality. And then sneakily hidden in the deck you have a one card combo with the commander to go infinite and mill the opponent's entire deck. So let's first go over the combo, and the one card combo with the commander is Altar of Dementia. And to understand the combo you also kind of need to understand the commander first, so let's have a look. Kroxa and Kunoros, 6 mana, 6/6, Vigilance, Menace, Lifelink, and then whenever Kroxa and Kunoros enters the battlefield or attacks, you may exile 5 cards from your graveyard. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So first and foremost, this is just a 6 mana 6/6 with massive stats and lifelink, so against aggro you can use this to stabilize, which is pretty nice. And when it enters, it brings something big with it. Well, not too many big things, because this is not a reanimator deck. You just bring something good back with it, which in most cases is enough, right? And what is important to know here is that Kroxa and Kunoros create something what is called a reflexive trigger. So that is a triggered ability, or just any basically a delayed trigger is happening from Kroxa and Kunoros. First they enter, you create a trigger of do you want to exile 5 cards, and if you do, then you create a second trigger of reanimate something. This means you can enter, let them enter the battlefield. In response to the ETB, mill yourself for 6 cards, because Altar of Dementia mills target player equal to sacrifice a creature power. Then exile 5 of those 6 cards. Remember, like you might notice, you go +1 in cards in graveyard this way. And then you exile 5, and then they can reanimate themselves. In response to the ETB, you mill yourself for 6 again, exile 5, and so on and so forth. And you exile, you mill your whole deck and exile most of the cards. But at the end of the day, you're going to end up with Hero of the Dunes and Fiend Hunter in the graveyard. And this combo makes it so you now, instead of the commander, you bring back Hero of the Dunes, and when Hero of the Dunes enters, you bring back a creature with mana value 3 or less. And then you bring back Fiend Hunter with that. And when Fiend Hunter enters, you can exile another creature, and when Fiend Hunter leaves, you return that creature to the battlefield. Fiend Hunter enters, you exile Hero of Dunes, then Hero of Dunes is in exile. Now you sacrifice Fiend Hunter, mill the opponent for 1 card. Hero of Dunes enters, because Fiend Hunter got sacrificed. Returns Fiend Hunter, exile Hero of Dunes, and now you mill the opponent infinitely. And yeah, that just mills the opponent infinitely, and that is how you combo win in this deck. We do have 2 tutors in the form of Grim Tutor and Cruelty of Gix in order to find Altar more consistently, apart from all the card draw. I found that most other tutors just weren't good enough. I used to run Wishclaw Talisman as well. That's a 2-mana artifact that you can tap and search something, but you then give it to the opponent. The problem with that is that you can't just like throw that out. You need something busted to tutor up, and the 2 things you can tutor up with this is Altar, but then you kind of need your commander play, because you need to immediately play Altar and then combo off, and that is very mana intensive. Or the other cool play with Wishclaw Talisman would be playing an Emrakul the Promised Land, and then you take over the opponent's turn, and in the opponent's turn you can use the Wishclaw to find the card that most, like, basically destroys their own board state most efficiently. So you get just like a double or like 2 triple. You just get insane amount of value from Wishclaw Talisman if you find and play Emrakul. The issue with that is that outside of that, if you don't have enough cards in the graveyard to cast Emrakul, that combo just doesn't work. So I decided against the Wishclaw, although it would have made for some very fun content plays, I assume. Yeah. Anyways, the rest of the deck is just, you know, good old Murderous Midrange, the best cards in the color. Currently, one of the more popular commanders is Ragavan. That's why you see me, for example, play Go for the Throat over the more traditional Infernal Grasp, which loses you to life, but I didn't want too much removal, so I decided to only run Go for the Throat. Just like the Mardu grindy value plan with as much discard and draw effects as possible. That is the big thing, because these discard draw effects really help fuel this deck. You dig to your combo faster, you enable Delirium and similar cards, like Unholy Heat does have Delirium, which means it gets a bonus effect once you have 4 or more card types in the graveyard, right? And then Emrakul has like a weird Delirium where it costs 1 less for each card type, right? You fuel those kinds of effects. You fuel your Kroxa Titans of Death's Hunger. You fuel your Commander. Just like this deck can really utilize the graveyard to its fullest, and you would love to start the game with half of your deck in the graveyard, to be honest. Like, even if Altar of Dementia is in the graveyard, the cool thing is that one of the combo pieces you actually use in Hero of Dunes can also return an artifact, and then you just have so many ways of returning creatures to, from the graveyard as well. You just have plenty of ways and backup win conditions and whatnot. So yeah, that is basically the deck, and the idea behind it is just create the best value pile in Mardu, like just value mid-range pile, and just have a random oops I win button in there, which really helps you in certain matchups. For example, against Atraxa, 4 or 7 mana, doesn't really matter. Usually we are not super favored in those kinds of matchups, well, depending how it goes, right? But just having this 1-card win condition in there just makes it so that they have to put the pressure on you instead of the opposite way around, which is really, really good for you. I also just want to note this specific combo, like I was frantically searching for a combo that just wins instantly with Altar of Dementia, because, you know, milling your entire deck into the graveyard, that's cool and all, but how do you win? I watched a CGB video, and he that's where I learned from the Hero of Dunes Fiend Hunter combo, but before that we had a really cool and elaborate way with Kami of Morning, Vesper Lark, and Prosper Tomebound, and some, wait, was it that? It was some really weird pile where we would give, yeah, it was Kami of Restoration Angel, that was the card. So you would return Restoration Angel with the commander, then flicker the commander once, exile 5 more cards, bring back Kami of Morning to give Vesperlark in the graveyard the perpetual of text of when something with more mana value dies, you bring it back, then you sacrifice the Restoration Angel. That would bring back Vesperlark. And now Vesperlark is a 3-mana creature that when it dies brings back a 1-power creature. And when a 4 or more mana creature dies, Vesperlark returns, so that means that you can go infinite with Prosperity because it costs more than Vesperlark, but it also has the power to be brought back with Vesperlark. It's like some really weird stuff, but I'm glad that the other combo got found, and I think that's pretty neat. Anyways, if you enjoy this content, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and join the Discord. The Discord is pretty neat. We just talk about Magic, the Gatherings, historic Brawl format all day, every day there. Mostly competitive players, but it is something for everyone. And yeah, let's play some Magic. We are ready to play against Atraxa Grand Unifier. And this is a very interesting hand. This contains the combo piece against them, which is our main win condition, to be honest. But I would have also liked a hand hate effect, but I think we can definitely keep that. This needs to be played on white, so we lead on this being tapped. Okay, then the idea is to probably Lightning Bolt goes away from the Scrapwork Mutt. And then we take up Liliana of the Last Hope first and try to ultimate. ramp, that's not good. Probably into Thoughtseize, I assume. Yep, that's fine. Our hand is pretty resilient to Thoughtseize. I assume they take the Grim Tutor. Yep. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Do we discard? I assume it's still the Lightning Bolt. Yep. Draw. Ooh, City Stalker Connoisseur. That's pretty good. Threat Portal on white. Yep. Liliana. Plus.
Enough with the mysteries.
And swing in.
I've come.
And then we take the biggest card in their hand next turn. Celestis. Problem is that we can't prevent them from playing the Atraxa Grand Unifier, but that's fine. Scrapwork Mutt swings in. Funnily enough, our combo would have been stopped by an Elish Norn Mother of Machines. Reveal this. City Stalker Connoisseur. Maybe they counted this. Murderous Rider, that's fine.
Waste of my time.
If in case they countered it, that's why we didn't activate the Liliana yet. Oh, the rest in their cards. The rest in their cards are lands. Yes, the rest in the of the cards in their hand are lands. Creature, legendary. Yeah, that doesn't look too great. Let's discard something. Yeah, we don't need the Viconia. If we get the Altar in here, we have some form of pressure. I mean, again, this is like any time now we can just instantly win, basically. This Time Warp doesn't do anything, actually. So let's take the Memory Lapse. Swing in with City Stalker. Oh yeah, that's actually great for us. Like, I know in the long run we will suffer from this, but I think we need to kill them somewhat quickly here. And I assume the opponent will just Time Warp for no value. That's what I want to see. Beautiful. And then they just play the commander again, right? But like can just City Stalker. Kind of an issue. Atraxa Grand Unifier is a weird matchup. Like we were. Oh, they have a Pact of Negation with a Casualties of 4. If they take those two, I think we can skip to that. Pact, Casualties. I mean, let's see if they want to pack this. That would be great, honestly. They shouldn't. They do. So we have a chance. Altar of the Top is lethal in the turn, which is a pretty good bank job. The issue is that we just get Casualties of War, but I think we just have to accept that. Exile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return the City Stalker. The problem is they just like discard something that doesn't matter, like the third best 6-drop here. And then they Casualties, Artifact, Creature, Land. Probably just the Dragon Skull Summit. It's looking rough. Oh no, wait, they have a Pack trigger, so they can't do that. It's pretty neat. But they can do... they can play the Jace Unraveler of Secrets. Okay, we have a chance at lethal. 2 draws for our big boy. Because we need the combat step in order to win. That is the issue. Like, Draw, discard, all the fun stuff. Yeah, and we like... yeah, that is not looking too hot. This can attack you freely, and then this can attack you, this can attack you. And the good thing is we have Menace on that, so that's pretty great. Sure, Scrapwork Mutt. We wanted that in the graveyard so we can unearth it. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We should have tapped the Thran Portal, because now we can't top deck a Thoughtseize as an out. Do we want to Cathar Commander Celestis? I think we do. Okay. Yeah, the opponent can also just like Liliana minus, which wouldn't be that bad for us, honestly. Casualties of War would be worse because that leaves them with a threat in play. Like they need to kill us, is the thing.
I do love a good death.
But now we need 2 additional. We actually need 4 mana, because once we just have the altar in play and let it sit around, the opponent will just immediately casualties of war it. I don't think we can win this anymore. GG. We are ready to play against Joda Archmage Eternal. And this actually looks like a great hand. We do not have any form of red mana, and this deck really wants at least 2 red sources in play. But we just have like Liliana Tribal to absolutely deny them all the resources, and then just win the game off of that somehow, right? And the question is just, which Liliana do we prefer? And I think the answer is almost neither, thanks to this Cathar Commander. Although I think just start, yeah, just Liliana of the Veil, discard, I think Edict. If we top deck a red source, we want to play the Fable. I was considering just Cathar Commando, Cathar Commander and to destroy the Signet. Okay. Yeah, and the reason why Liliana of the Veil Plus is so good is because Joda really plays a lot of big spells, but you can't cast your big spells if you just constantly discard cards, and then you either discard the lands to cast the big spells or the big spells themselves, right? So that is the thinking here. And we're racing towards this ultimate, which is a pretty good card, pretty good ability. I think we want to start on taking up this Liliana the Last Hope for pressure to actually kill the opponent. Because as it stands right now, we can still just like... I don't think they are going to cast a 6-drop, because it's usually like 8 to 10 drops in the Joda deck. Yeah, see? Wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, Golas is a good card in Joda, just because, like, some redundancy to your commander. The question is just, do we take up the Liliana of the Veil? And I think the answer is almost yes. Like, just take up both Planeswalkers, Cathar Commander, the Golos. And I think I like that. Red, for sure, we need the red source. Yep. I think we want to threaten the ultimate next turn. So we just want to not get cheesed out here. Well, Uro is a damn good card to fight through all of this. But once Liliana the Last Hope ultimates, the opponent is basically dead in the water. It's just like, yeah, can we avoid things like that? And Yeah, seems like we can't. Platinum Angel? Yeah, okay, easy. What can I say? Easy. So the question is just like, how do we pile this? We need them to remove the Platinum Angel. Oh, that's a good card. We definitely play that. Pile Platinum Angel and like leave them with a pile where they hopefully either way they don't have the mana to cast Uro. So let's see if we can do that actually. Don't let them. Oh god, no, that's like such an awful UI. What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Where is the... Where is... Hello. I can't see what card is... Okay, that's a Blood Crypt. That is a Andartha Triumph. I think that needs to be in one of the piles that's not here. Plains, sure you can be in this pile. Hello, what are you? World Tree, yeah, you need to be for sure in the second pile. Hello. You need to be... You can be in the second pile as well. Into the Don't Cast Uro pile. That's in the Don't Cast Uro pile. It's in the first pile. It's just like impossible. Hello, game. Yes, please be in that pile. Please. I think that needs to be in the Don't Cast Uro pile, but like, I think they have it either way, right? So this is currently leaving them with a Blood Crypt, which doesn't cast Uro, with a Command Tower, which does cast Uro, but you can be here. I don't know. It's just impossible. Like, it's actually impossible. Because, like, even if I'm hovering these, like, the arrows from the one above or below, it's just, like, obscuring everything. Yep. And this casts Uro, right? Oh man, that actually just casts Uro. That's so annoying. What is this? I'm
not finished with you.
Man. Green. Oh, they don't cast Uro. What? I mean, it doesn't matter. They found an Oracle of Moldaia into the thing to do the thing.
So that's how it is.
We found a land, so that's pretty great. We can mill ourselves with the underdog. Do we have a creature here? We can, yeah. I think we need to mill ourselves with the Liliana. Bring back Commando. Play Commando. Kill the Platinum Angel. Right? And then once we top deck a land, we try to go for lethal. We need to kill the Platinum Angel just so they actually lose the game. I'm just a little bit frustrated here. They can kill the Liliana, so maybe it was just correct to not attack with the underdog. Whoops. We have 2 draws per turn to find a land because of this Castle Locthwain. And I don't think they... Like, we need to top deck a land in the next, like, I don't know, couple of draws. Not too many. Uro, there it is. Yep. And then the other question is obviously, are we able to execute the combo fast enough? And on average, the answer is going to be no. But yeah, that is just what it is. Liliana dies. We're all in on the combo now. If we just find the untapped land right now, oh, that's fine. It's not going to be fine. So the question is, do we draw off the Tenacious Underdog or do we draw off the Castle Locthwain? I think we just draw off the castle lock in case we draw a tap land. Yeah, beautiful. So that represents lethal next turn. So I just hope for the opponent to tap out. I love to see that on the top of the opponent's deck, right? Yep, they draw that. Okay, they can draw a card here, I believe, with the Soul of Windgrace. So what I'm actually going to do is mill them so the Time Warp is not on top and we just don't die from that. So they... 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2... I just don't want to take the chance that they can actually just draw another card here. I'm fine if they just get another land with the Oracle because we just kill them. But, yeah, that for example doesn't stop the combo. I'm really happy that I milled the cards that I did. Yeah, they could have actually just drawn another card. If they minus Altar here, we are toast, but they don't, which is pretty great. And then that random card in their hand is a counter spell. Good beats, but I assume it's not going to be if they're on Joda, right? So let's execute the combo. It is a pain. It's probably not going to be fast enough. But let's see. Soul of Windgrace, they tap out. Beautiful. Okay, what do we have in the graveyard? Weltree probably comes back if I had to guess. There's a Weltree. They can still have a counterspell actually because of the Teferi Hero of Dominaria untap, right? Which is kind of crazy. Okay, hold full control during all of this. Otherwise, you will not be able to execute the combo. Step 2. Mill yourself with this. Decline the trigger every time. Then resolve once. Resolve twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exile 5. Then you target the commander. Yep. Trigger happens in response to the trigger. Mill yourself. Decline. Resolve. Resolve. And then also the speed of your combo is dependent on how fast you actually find the combo pieces, right? Currently we have 0 in graveyard. Resolve. Mill ourselves. And I once lost a game to not finding the combo pieces. There was one piece, which is great, so make sure we don't exile that randomly. That would be really bad. Turn commander, submit, resolve, mill ourselves again, so hopefully we will find the Fiend Hunter. Resolve. Nope. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return these. Yep. And it just takes some time. I'm not like once we find the Fiend Hunter, I am definitely going to probably just skip the whole Fiend Hunter clicking, to be honest. I mean, at the very least, we're just getting a ton of value with all these cards, right? Like Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger in Graveyard, Seasoned Pyro. We can bring back a Emrakul. So I mean, even if this fails, it's pretty good. But yeah, Arena is not kind to these kinds of combos. In paper, you can just do your shenanigans, say, hey, I'm doing this a couple of times, then you do it real quick, and then, hey, this is my infinite loop, and then, yep, still not there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I guess 5. So now return the commander again. Anyways, how has your day been, right? Like, we have a couple of minutes to talk here. Although I can't really hear you. Yeah, I think like this combo, funnily enough, this combo is way better in like competitive settings. where trying to think here, where there is actually no turn timer. If you direct challenge somebody on arena, you don't have a turn timer, and then it's just like, hey, I do this a couple of times and I win. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please, game. Please, I just want to showcase the loop and then we can go on, right? Because there is one thing that you have to consider during the Fiend Hunter loop. Because you need to let the Fiend Hunter ability fully resolve before you do anything else. Otherwise, you're going to be in big trouble. Because that permanently is going to exile your Hero of the Dunes. I have 20 cards left in the deck. Nope. It's just really shy. That's what it is. Just doesn't want to appear. Return. The thing is, like, we don't even have enough cards left in graveyard to win, probably. If this doesn't work now. The combo can just get work way fast. Like, all this time we have done this, we could have also just you know, done the other loop. But if this part takes too long, like it is right now, it just doesn't work. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We return the Hero of the Dunes. Where is it? Hero, hero, hero. Yep. That returns. And we can now turn off auto. Yep. I really want to exile that. Yes, I really do. And you have to ask it every time. And now the milling begins. Isn't that fun? Return. That returns Fiend Hunter. Yes, really. And mathematically you don't... Yeah. See, our turn is kind of over. And it is just impossible to execute the combo, sadly. But I think the deckers really need to showcase. Yeah, the opponent just let's just play this out. Although can maybe set a stop there, because we can just do that at instant speed, right? So technically we have a couple more steps where we can repeat this. We can also just let the opponent have a useless card on top and then mill them every time they would draw something that actually hurts us. Because as it stands right now, like even a board where we can just leave the Fiend Hunter in play, right? No, although now they just get priority every time, right? Yep. That happens. Oh my god, no, it's a nightmare. Now they get priority. Is that a land in your hand? Exile target creature, yes. You want to mill that? Oh my god, no. Ah, damn it. So the problem here is that if they have a land, they can draw that to exile the Fiend Hunter at instant speed here. So we should have stacked these trigger in order to create a lot of them on the stack at the same time, right? And then they wouldn't have the ability. Yeah, we should have played around the Soul of Windgraze ability here. Yep. The opponent didn't do that. Although maybe that they just don't have the ability of Solo Wind Grace up, right? That is also a thing. So let's keep a useless card on top. Yep, that's useless. And then just keep the trigger on the stack that way. Because during our turn, we are the first people to... yeah, the opponent just concedes to that. Thank God. Thank you, opponent. But like now the idea was to mill them until they have a useless card on top, and every time they would draw a card, we know what it is going to be, right? So if they put a draw trigger on the stack, we know the top card thanks to Oracle of Lodai, and then mill it, and we know that they don't have lethal. And drag to the bottom by wiping the board is just not a problem whatsoever, because then we can just we just have a Fiend Hunter in play, and then it just dies, brings back hero, and nothing happens. So the one way how they could have interrupted this, then just Teferi minus Altar, and then we, in response to that, we would have were forced to do the rest of the cards. But I think we had enough time, given how many steps there were, right? Yeah, what a truly awful combo. I love it. We are ready to play against Nahiri of the Ancients, Equipment Tribal. And so now we lost the game. We won a game with the combo, and now I want to win the game with the fair game plan. And that is probably a commander where we can do that. It's just like, mana's really good here. Card quality is pretty good. Can we keep up? And I really want that cheap interaction against equipment decks. Just like remove the creatures, remove the pressure, and then go for the throat, basically. So, oh no, we have the combo, right? Yeah, okay. I guess this is a combo win. This is a turn 5 combo for the record. But equipment decks are notoriously good at killing you before that point, actually. An Arcane Signet. Oh, that is a fancy one, right? We can Altar of Dementia Kroxa next turn, and then Hero of Dunes bring the Kroxa back to deny their resources even further. Oh no. We could have sped up the combo. Oh no, actually, we should have milled ourselves. So, the 100... yeah, that was just a terrible play. Sorry. The play here was play Altar of Dementia first, and then, in response to the Kroxa trigger, mill ourselves, and that way we can return Kroxa right now, right? Okay, none of these do anything relevant to us, so I assume we just win the game in 2 turns. Yep. Let's hold for control for this, to make it right this time. And here, while it is 100% correct to mill myself, no, it's always correct to mill myself, because I still don't have the Fiend Hunter. It's only correct to mill them once we have the Fiend Hunter in the yard. Hopefully it just doesn't take ages this time. Okay, does that have anything relevant? No relevant words here, no relevant words there. Fable, and yeah, we win. I'm gonna put a stop into their upkeep already. We're just going to let that damage happen. This way we can mill ourselves with the Hero of Dunes to find the Fiend Hunter faster, right? Okay. Yep, do the thing. There is the Fiend Hunter. Oh my god, the magic gods are nice to us. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That returns Hero of Dunes. Would you look at that? It's the combo. And didn't take a year to do the thing. I wish there was like always yes thing like Magic Online, because having to click this every time is yep. And this opponent concedes. Beautiful. Turn 5 combo win. GG. But also, for the record, we had a really strong fair game plan there as well. If we milled ourselves like correctly with Kroxa the first time, then we could have escaped Kroxa on turn 4. And then on turn 5, play like Ranger-Captain of Eos plus Liliana of the Veil at the same time. Just like shutting them off from casting non-creatures for a turn, meaning they can't play equipments. Yeah, we had a lot of game there, even without the combo. GG. We are ready to play against Atraxa Grand Unifier, and sadly I have to tell you that against Atraxa, that's exactly why we run the combo. Don't think there is a fair game plan that's going to happen. Although I quite like that hand. Turn 1, 2, I just get value. The hits of Rahilda in their deck, like, there's some really nasty stuff, and then Cruelty of Gix can do some brutal things too. We're going to lead on a turn 1 Thoughtseize. The question is just which land are we going to play? And I think I want to lead on this, because like, depending on what other lands we get, we need to sequence this in a weird way. So I am willing to take some extra damage just to have flexibility in the mana base. 100% taking the ramp here. Like, there is an argument for the Search for Azcanta, but yeah, I think that's a worry about it later problem. Oh, that's actually really good. That's really, really good. Maybe we can win with a Chandra ultimate. It's going to be a tad too slow, sadly, I think. Just like 1 or 2 turns, but yeah, let's see. Oh, Explorer is a really good draw from them. They're only, like, they're going to keep all the lands on top of the library. That's a decent draw. Let's attack first, though. Assemble the team. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to think what card we actually need from the deck and keep up mana accordingly. And I think we want a Thoughtseize. No, a Duress, or, well, because we use Thoughtseize, a Duress or a Mind Spike to get the Eternal Wonder out of their hand, though. There, I mean, Altar of Dementia is also just really good, right? The question is just, is it the correct play? We didn't find hand hate anyways. We can ninjutsu Rahilda and pick their hand apart, which doesn't really work thanks to the Search for Azcanta. So we also don't have removal for the Search for Azcanta, right? So I think, as boring as it is, let's do the combo again, right? Now I mean, full disclosure, I love this deck. I think like the things that makes this deck good, like, it's just really fun, really amazing, really cool, right? It's just that Magic the Gathering Arena decides to suck all the fun out of the combo. That's the problem. No land? No land, you say. The play is going to be untapped land. Oh yeah, we also drew an untapped land. Great. Chandra plus play Altar. I think we do that off the swamp. Don't attack. Because like Chandra is our mana rock right now, effectively. Yep. Opponent has to bin the top card in order to flip his Azcanta, which I assume they do. Problem here is if the opponent plays an Atraxa and has interaction with the Atraxa, namely Pact of Negation. That's what I'm worried about. Let's bring it on, opponent. Is there a Pact in there? Is there a Pact in there? No Pact in there. And we're insulated against Mite Spike because the card we want to play is in the command zone. Okay, we have the combo, and I think at this point you guys all know how it works, so I will just probably cut to the end. Yep. Also, like, they attacked with Solemn Simulacrum here, and we mill ourselves with the Railda. But oh well. Yep, that didn't happen. Oh, we just wanted to deny them the draw here. Okay. Yeah, anyways, see you at the end of the video, I guess. Yeah, I misclicked and I misclicked the commander, like misclicked one time. I didn't sacrifice my commander. I messed up the combo and I lost the game. GG. We are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And man, wow. Kroxa and Kunoros. First and foremost, I love this deck. I think the concept is so cool. I absolutely adore it. It's just unplayable. Like, if you have ever played a Sararek combo, right? I think that deck is more playable combo-wise than Kroxa and Kunoros because you have backup line. If you have ever played Tashar combo, right? Like, Tashar combo is even worse because you never actually get the combo. Like the actual mill kill, like it is like actually impossible to do that with Tashar. But at the very least you can lock them out with Ranger-Captain of Eos loops in that deck. With Kroxa and Kunoros, they give you hope, right? They give you the hope that you mill the pieces early. If you don't, you can't do it fast enough. It's a disaster. Like, it is an actual disaster, and man, I wish Magic the Gathering Arena would implement something about it, but also at the same time, I know it is actually super difficult to like save targets in a game that's not maybe designed to do that. It's a mess, and I don't want to be the one to tell the developers what they should do, and because it's so easy, because I don't know how easy it is as a person that also just somewhat had something to do with game design, right? I studied game design. Yeah, anyways, very, very cool deck. It is not often that you find a deck in Historic Brawl where the most optimal way to build it is basically a hybrid deck, because this is what it is. This is a mid-range deck that also has a combo finish, so you're in a mid-range combo plan, and it is really weird and really cool in my opinion. I think the last time we had a deck like that was Lagrella in Streets of New Capenna. Like, that's a blink deck with lots of value, so like same mid-range kind of idea with an infinite turns combo or like you can also just grow your like a bunch of infinite turns combo or infinite combos in Lagrella. But those were actually executable. This one sadly is not. If you, however, still want to build the deck, brace yourselves because it is hella expensive, as they say. Yeah, I mean, those cards are pretty neat. You don't need the combo. First and foremost, you don't need the combo, but I think I would play it without it. And considering the grand scheme of things, what is a Mythic Wildcard to you, right? Because you still have a lot of the moving parts here, and it is really hard to replace any given card. The core idea of, like, just like ignore the combo for once, right? Like, just say the rest of the deck, right? The core idea of this deck is to play the best Mardu threats in white, black, and red. The best threats on curve every time, bunch of value, and that's how you win. You just win by opponent plays good card, you play better card. That is how you win. If you play this deck on a budget, you suddenly don't have the best card, and then that whole game plan doesn't work. So this deck really relies on individual card quality. So yes, you have a couple of swaps here and there to make, but overall it is pretty set in stone, because once you don't do the better thing than the opponent, you really rely heavily on the combo. Which brings me to the next part. On a budget, I would probably just like play turbo combo, ramp, play a bunch of discard draw spells, like cheap discard draw spells, like what's it called? Tormenting Voice, Cathartic Reunion, these kinds of cards. 2 mana, discard 2, draw 3. Play a bunch of ramp, and play a reanimation backup plan, and then like just play the coolest, biggest cards you have lying around in your collection, which is still not going to be cheap, but a lot of people I know that just have random big stuff they want to cast, then they can put it into the deck, rest as ramp. There you go, that's your budget deck, quote unquote. But for this kind of playstyle, you really need most of the cards. You can cut some, but it is just really hard to replace these. Also, did I already mention you need the mana base minus utility lands per usual? Although like utility lands really do have high value in this deck because you frequently go into top deck situations. So like drawing a cast log flame is like, hey, now I can draw 2 cards a turn to out top deck the opponent. Or hey, my board got wiped. Here is a Den of the Bugbear, build up pressure. I have no cards in hand. Den of the Bugbear, build up pressure. Activate Den of the Bugbear twice to create 2 1/1s, which can be really relevant. Takenuma, just the few utility lands you do have in the deck are really respectable, although everything else is more important, basically. Yeah, that is my deck tech on Kroxa and Kunoros. I'm really sad that we didn't get to showcase certain things in the video, especially Emrakul, because Emrakul is such a cool tech for the deck. You naturally mill yourself or like discard draw. This costs easily 8 to 6 mana in this deck, so it's very castable, and it turns your tutors into actual threats. So for example, if you play against a counterspell deck, usually the counterspell deck will go ahead and not counter the tutor but counter the threat that comes out of it, because that is just more mana efficient for them to do so. With Emrakul, that gets flipped on the head, where suddenly you represent the tutor, put the tutor on the stack, they are forced to counter it, otherwise you get an Emrakul, which means you just absolutely get to demolish them. So that is the big tech there against like counterspell heavy decks. And you also, like that is your big thing you can reanimate with Kroxa and Kunoros once you need the threat. Yeah, just loads of utility coming from this single card here at the top, and it might not look like much, but it is pretty good to have this in your deck as a potential top deck. Like you can be in situations where you're like, okay, I have no outs if this is not in your deck, but if this is in your deck, you can be like, okay, I have a 1 out, and 1 out is actually quite a lot more than 0. So yeah, a lot of cool things you can do with this deck. Sadly didn't get to showcase them all today, but you will figure it out. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking the video, and I will see you in the next video.